Hey everybody, it's Jill Redfern. Welcome to Third Shift Movement Shop, home of literal technique. As you know, we are starting the tutorial videos this week, and you're going to have to forgive this room. I'm still dealing and working out what the setting is going to be for these videos, and this light and this room are where I've settled on today. I wanted to get this first tutorial out though, so I'm moving ahead as is. So hopefully it's not going to take too much away from what we're talking about. So let's talk today about 3 places where alignment breaks in the 33 vertebrae. In literal technique, the spinal column is one structure with 33 vertebrae that move jointly but differently. The 33 vertebrae are the central support of the body, and alignment of the skull, the rib cage barrel, and the pelvic barrel are derived directly from the 33 vertebrae's alignment. So we need to understand the vertebrae as one structure that impacts these 3 alignments. These 3 bones I consider to be bones that are central to our alignment. So the vertebrae, the skull, the rib cage barrel, and the pelvic barrel, I call those the central bones. In order for us to think and move the vertebrae as one structure, what we have to do is first stop mentally breaking it into 3 sections. The alignment of these is derived from the 33 vertebrae. So if you've got a problem in the skull or the rib cage barrel or the pelvic barrel, there's a problem at the vertebrae, and that's where you need to go to correct your alignment. But we also need to simultaneously in our bodies align the 33 vertebrae. The others will fall into place. So in order to do that, I want to start with the idea that there are 3 places where alignment of the 33 vertebrae breaks that we can be aware of when we're trying to unify alignment of these bones. The first is where the skull meets C1, which is the first cervical vertebrae. That's the first place alignment will break. The second place it will break is at around the 5th, 6th, or 7th thoracic vertebrae. So if this is our first rib, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 7. There's the 7th vertebrae. It's about where the bottom of the scapula is. It's at about that place that alignment will break, and you'll feel the rib cage doing that. The third place is where the lumbar and the sacral vertebrae meet. There are 5 lumbar vertebrae. This is L5, and sacral vertebrae are fused. There are 5 of them, but this is still considered to be S1. So where L5 and S1 meet is a little joint called the lumbosacral joint. It's at that place in the vertebrae that the curvature of the vertebrae shifts from in to out. And this joint will do this. So that place in the alignment has to, I repeat, has to remain neutral in order for the pelvic barrel to maintain its alignment. So again, the 3 places where you can watch for where alignment of the entire structure breaks: at C1, at T5 to T7, think of it about where your scapula meet, and right where L5 and S1 meet. When you're doing your warm-up in the beginning of your class at the bar, or if you're in a modern class and you're in the center of the floor, think about only when you're upright. I want to start in an upright position to sort of understand the way in which we're going to try to unify this alignment. But become aware of those 3 places as you do your exercises, and notice when they break. What are you doing? What kind of movement are you doing when they break? What do you do to try to correct that alignment? So if we can start to think about those things, we can start to get a better idea of what the issues are with the alignment of the 33 vertebrae, but also the alignment of your skull, your ribcage barrel, and your pelvic barrel. So think about that this week while you're in class. Make some, start keeping a journal if you want. Sometimes people like to do that. And I will see you next week. Okay.